So what is the difference of metamorphic rocks than the others? Yes, their temperature and pressure is very high, but not high as igneous rocks because they are molten, right? So metamorphic rocks are two types, namely foliated and non-foliated. Foliated means what? So what are the platy minerals that you come across today? Can you remember mica? Yes? So minerals like mica, right, platy minerals, they tend to form into a single layer, right? Alternating single layers. Can you see this, the picture behind? Can you see the lines in this one, the picture? So they are foliations. So these dark color platy minerals, they tend to form into a layers. They tend to form into layers, right? Why do they tend to form into layers? Due to the application of high pressures. Okay. So on the other hand, in non-foliated rocks, you don't find these platy minerals. So if you don't find platy minerals, how could you see foliations? So they are not forming any foliations. Okay. Right. These are some examples of. These are foliated rocks and these are non-foliated rocks. Okay. For example, slate, schist, if you want the terms, and you know gneisses, right? Have you seen gneisses? So most of the Sri Lankan rocks, they are in this group, right? So do you know quartzite? They are very abundant in this Kandy area. Okay, so they are a type of non-foliated rocks. And marble, have you seen marble? Have you been to Digane area ever? There's a huge quarry of marble. Okay, foliated and unfoliated rocks. Okay, and you have the examples, right? Sorry. Yes. So why do these call non-foliated rocks? The quartzite and marble. Why is that? They don't have the platy minerals in a single layer, or they are not arranged into a single layer to form foliation, right? Not like in this one. You see these foliated bands? Yes? Can you see them? Okay. So, summarizing the major idea. So, as I said earlier, all of these rocks are made from a source. Okay? And what are the major physical factors affecting them? The temperature and the pressure. So, if you take a single source rock, maybe A, okay, there's a rock called A, and if that rock A, or the source rock A, undergoes different temperature and pressure conditions, okay, if the source rock is undergoing different temperature and pressure conditions, the rocks which are formed from different levels, they are three different rocks. Okay, the source rock may be the same. That means the chemical composition of the source is the same, but when the source is undergone three different physical conditions, that means three different temperature and pressures, so the resulting rocks are different. So even the source rock is the same, that means the chemically speaking, these three are the same because we are using the same source rock. Okay, but as I said earlier, when we deal with rocks, we don't consider the what? Chemical composition, but the mineralogical composition. So when the pressure and the temperature differs from one to another, the mineralogical composition of these three rocks, they are not the same. They are not the same. So the mineralogical composition is the one that differentiating these three rock types. Did you get it? So I mean the chemical composition of the source rock and these rock 1, rock type 2 and rock type 3, they are the same, the chemical composition, but the mineralogical composition resulted from different temperatures and pressures made them three different rocks. So the mineralogical composition of these rocks are different, right? Did you get it? So the source rock is the same. Okay. So that is the basic idea. Okay. Now going back to the summary. So have you seen this one? What is it? And it is made of what? Marble. And sorry? Yeah, marble crystals. Yeah. Okay. So do you know it is? What do you call that? Acid rains. Do you know acid rains? The one that you mentioned as a factor of chemical weathering. So marble is the main mineral in marble is calcium carbonate. So when acid rains fall, they tend to dissolve this calcium carbonate in this marble. So Taj Mahal is facing that problem at the moment. So if Shah Jahan has used something else rather than marble, he could have saved it for another 100 or 1000 of years. Okay, so that's why I said that identification of rock type is important when building huge buildings. And can you see this one? What it looks like? The tunnel. So as I said earlier, if you do not know the rock type and the foliation and the texture of these rocks, you do not know how much support is needed by these rocks. Okay, when the support is needed, that means when you need to nail the rocks into the mother rock, and where do we need concrete slabs to control the rock falls in tunnels, you can't define them unless you know the rock type and the properties of these rocks. Okay, so what is this? What might be this? They are fossils. So the fossils and their relative ages. The fossils can represent different time scales in geological time history. Okay, so identifying these fossils that belong into different age groups of the geological history, you can define the evolution of a specific country or a specific region. Okay, now if you take the Puttalam limestone area, studying those fossils in those rocks, you can tell what is the age of this limestone deposit, right? Like that. So identification of rocks is important in dealing with the ages of the rocks, geologically speaking, right? So these are two famous statues of Lord Buddha, and can you see these lines on the body? So what are they? I just mentioned about metamorphic rocks. What are they? The plate minerals, maybe biotite, maybe mica, hornblende. They have formed the foliation in these rocks. Okay, so when there is a foliation, it is really hard to carve those rocks into smooth surfaces. Okay, so it had been very difficult. Surely it had been very difficult to create this statue. Okay, you can see some scars here, right? So that means they tend to easily break down because they have what? Specific layers formed by these dark color minerals, right? Compared to that one, this one is made out of marble, right? So can you remember marble? Marble is a non-foliated rock, right? And this is a gneiss. Gneiss itself means it is foliated. Okay, so this is formed of a foliated rock and this is formed of a non-foliated rock. And this one is, it is easy to carve this rock into a beautiful statue like this. But, right, so the architecture or the artist that was in the past, our ancestors, so they had to know, they should know what rock is to be used to create even the sculptures, right? So if he had used the wrong one or the false one, that wouldn't last for a long time. Okay, so the type of rock is important even in the sculpturing, and that is why I mentioned the importance of rock in history. Okay, so that's all about my presentation.